how many years have to go by before you put down your foot and choose yourself? Why are you attached to seeing what other people are doing? Why are you even crying and complaining about how other people are living and you feel out of lack of? Why are you not going after your goals? Why are you not going after who you could possibly become? Why are you not your own dream girl yet? Why are you still watching other people live their life? Why are you jealous? Why are you comparing yourself to other people thinking you're not good enough? Comparing yourself to people who are getting up and living their 24 hours while you are laying in bed scrolling. You saw my channel grow to 20,000 subscribers. I didn't do that. That was God. Imagine what else he can do for you. Anytime you are out of alignment or doing something that is against your goals, against what you want in life, that is not acting out of intention. And when you act out of intention, you will hold yourself accountable to who you want to become and where you want to go. Why are you dwelling on how other people are living and what they're buying and how luxurious their life looks, and why are you not going after yours? You're making all these bad decisions that are making you more and more poor, or more and more unhappy, or more and more overweight or unhealthy. You're making yourself that person instead of going after who you could possibly become. Where you are right now is temporary. The emotions you're in, the situation you're in, the turmoil you're in, the friction you're in is temporary. You have the option every single day to make better choices, to surround yourself with better people, to make better decisions for your life, and to believe that you can pull yourself out of this current moment right now. Whatever you want in life is possible as long as you're willing to work hard for it. Faith, consistency, intention. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome, especially if you are new to the channel. Today, I am recording from Poland. In today's video, I want to share with you guys 5 to 6 things that I did in 14 days to change and transform my entire life, especially starting my journey here on YouTube. If I didn't do these things that I'm about to mention, I would have never been able to build a community to even reach 20,000. My name is Shanice, and on here we have a really good time. We talk about reinventing yourself while discovering who your own dream girl is. Not a cutout image of anybody else. I really want you focused on who you could possibly become this year. I'm talking about 2024, not 2025, okay? We still have some months left. If you are new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, I hope you subscribe throughout the video and like this video, share it to another girly. Before we get into the video, I just want to say what? I woke up and saw 20,000 subscribers. And let me tell you something. You have to ask for what it is that you want. And you have to have 3 things: faith, consistency, and intention. Consistency to show up even on the days you don't want to. Faith in God, because a lot of the times we act out of fear than faith. When I say intention because you have to have intention behind everything you do. There must be a deeper reason, a why of why you are doing what you do. So anytime you are out of alignment or doing something that is against your goals, against what you want in life, that is not acting out of intention. And when you act out of intention, you will hold yourself accountable to who you want to become and where you want to go. When I started my channel in January, I told God, I was like, look, I'm putting my faith in you because I've been putting my fear in the world for so long and living of the world for so long. And I made a faith board. We're going to make one too together. I lived my 29 years not living in my purpose, not going after my calling, not really trusting and building a relationship with God. I grew up in the church, but I did not have the relationship I do and the understanding that I do now of where I want to go and who I could possibly become. I share all of this to say, when I started my channel, I had asked God for at least one subscriber. I had no idea how it was going to go. My clients had just told me to start speaking and sharing with you guys what I share with them in person. And that is how this started. And I started on my iPhone, and I'm still recording on my iPhone. 20,000 subscribers later, I am still using my iPhone 14 Pro Max. And I started with no mic. Often, in most of my videos, I don't even have a mic. I just clean my phone really well. And I've been able to impact more lives just because I had more faith, consistency, and intention. I have not missed any of the days that I've posted, right? I started off posting 2 days a week. Then I started posting 3 days a week. And then I started posting 4 times a week. My usual schedule is 3 times a week. But I say that again to say, consistency, but you guys see what consistency brings. If you don't apply consistency to your life, you are not going to go and achieve the things that you're looking to achieve. And even on those days where you feel like you can't do something, or it's too hard, or it feels impossible, like we just drove around the town to find me a spot for me to park. Like, my man is outside walking around right now. Let me show you guys one side. Do y'all see him? This poor man is just waiting for me to finish my video. So yeah, like I was saying, we just drove around just to find me a spot for me to make my video, because consistency. No matter where I am, what I'm doing, I will stop to make sure I get what I get done, because it's a mission of mine. Every video I drop is intentional. It's filled with my lessons, my experiences, my testimonies that changed me, shaped me, molded me, for me to pour into you for a purpose. Because I had moments in my life where I was down bad. We're very similar. Like, believe it or not, we are very similar. We all procrastinate. We all have hard seasons. We all go through losing people. We all go through breakups and seasons of crying our eyes out, feeling depressed and lack of being jealous. We've all gone through so many similar emotions, and I'm here to stand up with you and tell you, where you are right now is temporary. The emotions you're in, the situation you're in, the turmoil you're in, the friction you're in is temporary. You have the option every single day to make better choices, to surround yourself with better people, to make better decisions for your life, and to believe that you can pull yourself out of this current moment right now. Whatever you want in life is possible, as long as you're willing to work hard for it. Faith, consistency, intention. When I hit 1,000, that was emotional. When I hit and kept growing, every single number, every single comment became so much more intentional, but made me so much more softer and emotional. And I'm just so grateful to you. And I want to let you guys know, it doesn't just have to be about YouTube. Whatever you want in your life, what I mentioned in these 5 to 6 tips, please apply it to your life. Tip number 1 is going to be, write down all of your distractions and your addictions. I had to become aware of things that I was distracted by. Especially, I started on platforms like Instagram, and I knew that my time was mostly spent, like any of my free time was spent scrolling. And I mentioned that a lot in my videos, because 29 years, it took me 29 years to wake up and see that I was a prisoner to my phone. A lot of y'all are prisoners to your phone. When I ask my clients, oh, what do you do first thing in the morning? They're like, I'll be up scrolling, and then, hours go by, and then I have to rush to get ready for work. Why didn't you prioritize yourself? Why did you prioritize what you see on social media? Why did you prioritize seeing everybody living this life for you to wake up and feel like you're in lack of, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not this, you're not that, instead of getting up to go and do something for you? So girl, I had to pull it back. I knew that if I wanted to have a mind as sharp as it is right now, a vision as clear as it is right now, direction that I wanted, because I was very stray, I had to get rid of my distractions, my addictions, calm them down. I also limited cannabis. Now, I wasn't addicted to it, but I limited it. I started out with, what is it called? I started out with the pre-rolls, and then I went into the vapes, and then I just decided that it wasn't for me. I would wake up and my brain was foggy, and I just knew I couldn't produce. I know that there's some content creators and influencers that are good at, advertising their cannabis and their use of that kind of stuff. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. As I've grown into the health and wellness space, I've grown into more of a holistic approach to life and just honestly living through balance, not being addicted to anything. I prefer my body and my mind to not be dependent on anything, not be reliant on anything or anyone. And so I knew that I had to scale it back. I wanted to be present. I didn't want to hide away from my problems. I didn't want this to be a routine where I was winding down, or I was, waking up and I needed to bake. Like, I didn't want this to be my coping mechanism for my anxiety or my depression. I wanted to take it on face and get rid of and deal with my problems. And when I would get sucked into my addictions, I felt like more of a temporary fix for me. And I was still going through a cycle of battling with a lot of things inside and around me. When I removed these things and I just became more clear and just vision sharp, life just became so much better for me. And my messages, the way that I walk, the way that I carry myself, it's a lot sharper. And so, my man's friend is visiting him. So my vision became a lot sharper, and I now know where I want to go. I now stand firm in who I am and what I do. The words that come out of my mouth are more meaningful and purposeful. And I wasn't able to do this unless I gave up what was distracting me and holding me back. A lot of you guys are stuck and thinking that you need to be reliant and dependent on things, especially even coffee. Like, oh my God, I can't produce. I can't do this. I can't function. The minute your body is addicted to something, you need help. You need to go and honestly, I've asked God. I was battling with a shameful addiction, and a lot of the addictions that we have are very similar, but I had to ask God for this one to just help me get out of it. And I knew that I couldn't get out of it unless I turned to Him. It's what's in the world and killing the world. And a lot of people are battling with a lot of things inside that they do feel ashamed of. You can only consult with God when I'm telling you this. You can only consult with God. A lot of people, when you tell them your business, they like to run around with it and make you feel even more in shame. Once you start to own your truth and take accountability for the mistakes that you've made, or for the things that you've done that have hindered your life or regressed your life, you have the power and the control to do something about it, to move forward and do something about it. And coming to God and just giving it to Him to improve my life and the quality of my mind and renew my soul and my heart was the best thing I could have done. And yeah, like I said, like, a lot of people are addicted to coffee. A lot of people are addicted to anything and everything outside of them that they feel that they cannot survive or function or produce without. Yes, I'm telling you this. You can wean yourself off of energy drinks and still function. You can still produce and be great in all that you do. You just need to become aware of your distractions, the bad habits, and your addictions. Number 2 is going to be write down all of your fears and why you are fearful. It's so important for you to become clear of what is holding you back. And oftentimes it's the fear of what people are going to think of you. How are you going to be perceived? For me, I always had a fear of speaking in front of people. Even when I started my first personal training job, I was a fitness coach for a big franchise. I was on a 3-month probation and they were like, you need to start speaking and projecting. And if you hit 3 months and you cannot deliver on this, you're going to be fired. 1 month, I had 1 month left and I just started speaking. From there, I grew more confidence to speak and trust my words and trust myself. And a lot of the times we let our fears hold us back from our potential. A lot of you guys are not doing what you want to do because you're afraid of what people are going to say about you, especially those that are close to you. When I started my YouTube channel, I only sent the link to a few people, and I barely post about my YouTube channel on my current Instagram page. I think I run back and forth in my mind every now and then if I even want to keep my Instagram page. Like, just because sometimes I feel like it's just bad mind on there, but I never get any negative energy. I just feel like I just don't like when people are just watching and not really doing anything with, you know, content, engaging in it, or even just growing themselves. I don't want to be putting out content and you're not growing or doing anything. And a lot of the times I find on Instagram and Facebook, when I go back to the people who have been following me, they're not doing anything differently with their life. So I'm like, okay, why are you even watching my stories? Back to the fears. A lot of times we let our fears stop us and prevent us from who we could possibly become. And let me run it back to YouTube. This year, I decided that I was going to have more faith than fear. Faith over fear. More faith, less fear, less self-doubt. This year, I decided to make a faith board, and that had changed my 2024 completely. In everything I do, and how I feel, and how I walk. And now I'm no longer afraid. I am so confident. My aura shines brighter. Look at the first video compared to like the last ones. I have grown into who I'm meant to become because I stopped caring about what other people would think about me, about anything outside of myself. I just stopped caring and I just started going after what I truly wanted to go after, what made me come alive, what fulfilled me, and that's helping people. It's speaking, it's sharing my lessons so that I can help other people break their own cycle and transform. Had I just kept living my life in fear, I would never be able to be sitting here with 20,000 sisters. No way, because I would be sitting there for so long. It took me 29 years to start. Don't let it take you years. We aren't promised time. We aren't promised tomorrow. We aren't promised time. We aren't promised tomorrow. And something inside of me woke up this year and was like, no, girl, you don't have tomorrow. You have right now. You have what you can do right now. You have an entire world in shambles right now. We are all in shambles. We have no idea what's going on in the world. Yes, this world is quite fearful. We have no idea. All I can do and all I can control is my present moment right now and how I come across in people's life, what I can do in somebody's life today, how many souls and people, how many souls I can help today, how I can take care of myself today, how I can be better for myself today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But today I'm living in the present moment. And that required me to have a sharper and more intentional mind, because I know if I could produce 5 videos per week, I mean, I could. I probably would. And I probably will eventually when I get the hang of things. Listen, you don't have tomorrow. And oftentimes we're like, oh, we're going to do this tomorrow. Oh, when I'm starting feeling, oh, when I did, we got people who are passing out, dying on us every single minute of the day. If you got to watch this video, that's because God keeps waking you up. You've heard this one before. And there's a reason why you keep coming back to these videos and why it keeps getting better and better, because God's using me to speak to you. He wants you to know that you need to go after your gifts. You need to go after your purpose. You need to stop holding back on your gifts that God has given you, because there's no reason why he would take the time to create you and you're here. Every person that is on this earth has a purpose of why they are here. You have a very big purpose of why you are here. I had to go through obstacles and situations just like you. I had to go through turmoils. I had to go through many nights of crying, many nights of being in pain, many nights of feeling alone. I've even been in relationships where I felt alone, and I still had to go through it just like you for me to transform my life. It's not too late wherever you are in your path. Do not let your fear hold you back. Number 3 is going to be decide who you want to become and start showing up as her. Start to reflect on your current habits, your old behaviors, your old mindset, and become aware of the things that you keep doing often that are preventing you from becoming that person, especially if you're on this mission of becoming your dream woman, the woman of your dreams that you're in love with before anyone else is in love with her, before your friends, before your family, before your partner. If you're in a relationship, as you work on yourself, you actually become more attractive or intimidating to your partner. Hopefully you're dating the right people, because you should be becoming more attractive to your partner just based on your glow, your energy. Decide who you want to become. I have been making vision boards for about 5 years now. In 2024, I sat with myself and I realized, and I looked at my past vision boards, and I realized that I wasn't getting everything that was on that vision board, nor was I even aiming for them, because throughout the year I would just get off track or I would lose focus and vision. And so I wanted to sit with myself and lay out what do I really want, and who do I need to become in order to get what I want. In order for me to become a speaker, I had to get rid of scrolling aimlessly on social media. I had to get rid of any energy drains. I had to get rid of a lot of things, right? For me to become a certain person. Especially, I'm the type of woman that's going to be walking in every step that I say. Everything that I do, I am a living proof of everything that I talk about on my channel. I'm not living 2 different or 4 different lives. One life, babe. You catch me in person, I'm even better in person. But I wanted to really analyze, how do I become the woman that I desire to become? I have all these beautiful, successful women on my vision board. And don't get it wrong, I'm very successful in my job as a personal trainer in my city. But I knew that I wanted to bring my voice. I knew that I wanted to share my voice worldwide. How do I become that woman? I have to get rid of my fears. I have to get rid of my self-doubt. I cannot compare myself. I have to be focused on my own lane. I knew that I had to do things differently in 2024, and writing down, who do I want to become? What does my dream woman look like? How does she carry herself? What does her day-to-day look like? Yes, my day-to-day looks like I wake up every morning, do my 10K steps, and then after that I eat, and then I get into filming, and then I'm also with clients. What does my schedule look like? I have my man around me, but I'm not attached to him like I've been attached to men in my previous relationships. I'm prioritizing my dream woman, and while serving myself, I can serve others. Who do I have to become in order to become the dream woman that I've had on my vision board for so long, but have neglected the daily things that I necessarily needed to do that I wasn't doing, or I wasn't consistent with doing to become that woman? And it changed my life in 2024. You need to become aware of your habits, of how you speak to yourself, who you're surrounded by, where you keep going, what places you keep going to, what you keep entertaining, what you're distracted by. Is your dream woman a distracted woman? Is your dream woman outside cursing and carrying herself obnoxiously, not looking good, not graceful? Is she outside making a fool of herself? Is she outside with the wrong company? You are who your friends are. So who are your friends? My dream woman does not have certain friends. My dream woman is not around certain people. I started outgrowing people when I started to outgrow my old self, because it no longer fit the dream woman that I knew I'm possible to become. I knew that this is who I wanted to become and this is what it required. So there was no non-negotiables for me to want to receive and reach her. I'm a living proof. I'm a living proof what you can do in 14 days and even in 9 months. It doesn't need to take you 5 years. Understand, you need to get really clear and write down, who do you want to become? If you're a dream woman, and please, I don't want to hear any numbers about your weight, because people be like, oh my God, I want to be 125 pounds. No, babe. There is no certain look. There's no specific look when it comes to the number. You want to be healthy. You want to have healthy habits. You want to like what you look like. The body fluctuates. Tomorrow, I'm going to be 145 and today I'm 130. Okay, I still love myself. I got off a plane and sometimes I'm going to be holding water. Like, you guys are so attached to numbers, right? It's just like growing a YouTube channel or growing any other platform. Don't be so attached to the numbers. Be attached to the progression. Be attached to who you're becoming in the process. Be attached to the new habits that you're now enjoying, rather than the numbers. Be attached to the lives that you got to impact and influence. Be attached to how many people you got to help. Be attached about who you became along the process of helping other people, not the number. You get what I'm saying, y'all? If you were looking for motivation or tips on how to be consistent, that right there is going to be it. Get attached to the feeling, not the actual numbers. Don't be so attached to the number on the scale, the number in your bank account, the number on your social media platforms. Don't be so attached to those things. Be attached to who you become in the process and how many people you get to impact. All the things that you get to do from impacting and influencing people. You are on this earth to serve. You are on this earth to help yourself so you can pour into other people. Because girl, you cannot pour from an empty cup, so do not expect it. If you want to start glowing differently, carrying yourself differently, and seeing, like, look at my first video till now, okay? Yes, just look at that first video and come back to this one and let me know. Yeah. God has been moving in my life and has literally taken my glow to radiate a new level, new energy. I'm on a different wave this year, and it's honestly all on energy. Like, I started minimalizing absolutely everything. You don't even need a camera. You just need to show up as yourself, period. Number 4, I had to do this many times this year. I already talked about it. I think especially at the beginning of my journey, taking a social media break. Stop trying to flex, post, or pose for people that don't like themselves. I cannot. I have been an influencer in the fitness space for years on Instagram, especially being a professional bodybuilder and a women's coach. I've always had my platforms rolling and running. And I knew that this year I wanted to separate myself from bodybuilding just because I don't know when I'll be returning back to the stage. And I knew I had to shed that part of me for me to become my dream woman, because my dream woman is just overall healthy, happy, and I'm not on a hard diet. I'm not doing anything too crazy. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed my time as a bodybuilder for 9 years, getting to the biggest stage in the world, the discipline that came with it, who I became in the process, which I talked about, was the best part of my experience. How many people I met, all the things I got to do, and traveling. It was amazing. It was such a great experience. I'm not sure when I'm getting back to that. However, I knew my dream woman was looking to shed that part of her and actually grow into the woman of my dreams. As I was growing into the woman of my dreams, I was having a little bit of a push and pull when it came to certain platforms. And so I knew that I needed a break. If I'm waking up with anxiety, if I'm waking up under pressure, if I'm waking up like people are dependent on me showing up, that's when I know I needed to take a break. Especially like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people will be on Instagram watching people live their life, but they're not doing anything with their own. That doesn't make me feel good. That doesn't make me feel good. That just makes me feel like I'm wasting my time. And it's not about me. It's more so about the person or the people who are watching these things. I believe in people. I believe in you. I believe that people can make a change, but I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to pull your hand and drag you by your hair for you to see what I see, because I've been on the other side where I saw potential in other people, but I didn't see potential in myself. And I think once you start to realize that you have to see your own potential for you to be consistent, for you to remain motivated and stay focused and always trust the vision, trust the plan, trust the progress, trust and believe, it's up to you. It's your choice. And so certain platforms I just had to remove myself off of. I also was just waking up sometimes, you know, in previous years, I would wake up, I would scroll. Also, when I ask my clients what they do with their free time or how they start their morning or how they end their night, they would tell me that they're on Instagram. And I was just like, I don't want to be a part of the cycle or a part of the crowd. I don't follow trends and I don't follow people. I'm not trying to be a part of the crowd, okay? I'm not trying to be a part of the crowd that is attached to their phone. They're feeling depressed. They're feeling in lack of. Girl, I know myself. I know my beauty. I know I'm good, naked, or clothed. I do not need what other people have, and I'm good. I don't want to be a part of the crowd that is waking up depressed because they see Brenda living out her dreams, her wildest dreams. Why can you not go after your own dreams? Why are so many people lost right now in the world? Because they feel like they don't have what they see on Instagram. Girl, you don't even know what you want because you're influenced, heavily influenced by what you see. You have no idea, no goals. You had no idea. You had no ideas. You had no goals. You had no vision, no target for your life, because every day you're back on Instagram. Every minute you spend on there, you are being influenced how your life should look, how you should feel about yourself, what you should buy, what products you should buy that's going to make you more attractive, how you should do your hair that's going to make you more attractive. This is what men want in a woman. Da 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 da. Buy this, do that, enhance this, da 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 da. I'm sorry, but you need to know yourself and make those choices based on you. When I was getting my boobs done, I knew I've always wanted to get my boobs done. I did it for me. Any choices you make, you need to do it for you. When you cannot make your own decisions that elevate your life, and you make decisions or choices based on what you see on social media, yes, you're heavily influenced. People spend tons of money they don't even have, go broke because of what they saw on social media. It's so unfortunate where the world is going, where so many people feel out of place or in lack of or lonely or alone. The emotions are way more negative than positive, and it's so sad to see where the world is going. And this is why every video I make is intentional, because you have to have a strong mind. You're supposed to be happy for people. You're not supposed to be mad that somebody else is winning in life or they're accomplishing their goals. Clap for them. And then go and clap for yourself, or do something for yourself where you can then clap for yourself. But why are you dwelling on how other people are living and what they're buying and how luxurious their life looks? And why are you not going after yours? You're making all these bad decisions that are making you more and more poor, or more and more unhappy, or more and more overweight or unhealthy. You're making yourself that person instead of going after who you could possibly become. So why not remove yourself from social media? Why not remove yourself? Like, I'm not missing anybody when I'm taking my break. I'm definitely not missing anybody. I am barely on social media right now. Okay, I was like, I don't really know if I want to post what I'm doing in Europe, where I am in Europe. I want to tell my girls on here different community, different vibe, okay? It's a different vibe. I'm also not a creator that's like, hey, go and buy this, go and do this and buy it's up to you. But yeah, like for me, I don't get caught up in this digital world where you feel like you have to go and buy a bunch of things to be the most stand out woman, you know. No, you have to do this. You have to do this skincare routine. You have to wake up in this robe. No, babe. Get clear with who you want to become, and you can take inspiration, but stop trying to really recreate and copy what you see online from other people. They had to figure out their own lives. So do you. And figure out what you want in your own life. So do I. So did I. Right? And I know that what I see on the internet is not what is meant for me. What I see my friends post is not what is meant for me. Be happy for those people. You have to put together your goals, your targets, what you want to do and create in your own life, where you want to go. Like, if it was your last day on earth, what would you be doing? What would make you happy? Would you be scrolling on your phone? Why are you attached to your phone like that? Why are you attached to seeing what other people are doing? Why are you even crying and complaining about how other people are living and you feel out of lack of? Why are you not going after your goals? Why are you not going after who you could possibly become? Why are you not your own dream girl yet? Why are you still watching other people live their life? Why are you jealous? Why are you comparing yourself to other people thinking you're not good enough? Comparing yourself to people who are getting up and living their 24 hours while you are laying in bed scrolling. And so I said 2024, enough was enough. Enough. Touch some grass, okay? Take a break, touch some grass. When they said that you need to go walk bare feet in nature, they were not lying. Go put your feet in some water. I'm not talking about your bathtub or a spa. I need you to go out in nature and really touch grass, because God brought you on this earth for you to be present, for you to be awake, alive, and for you to go after your goals. So go and touch some grass. We're going to start there. Is there a spider in the car? This is not who I want in the car with me. Oh my gosh. This is like the second spider. Poland. Okay, I don't even know what this says. So, ooh. Oh my gosh. All right. And lastly, tip number 5 is so important for your mental and your emotional health. Be careful of your surroundings. And when I say be careful of your surroundings, energy is so powerful. Energy is so magnetic. And I didn't really realize this until about 2 to 3 years ago, when I started becoming more self-aware. I started my reinventing journey about 5 to 6 years ago. And so when I started to become aware of my own energy, especially I was living by myself at the time, I was healing, I was building myself, I was learning about myself. And while I was learning about myself, I was raising my standards and setting boundaries, just creating my reality. And I realized that a lot of things around me were changing, because as I started to grow, a lot of things around me had to fall off or take a back seat. And energies were so different. And then from there, I was paying attention to energies. I now know what I offer beyond my body. I now know what I offer in friendships to people. I am somebody who pours into people. And if you're somebody who pours into people, you're a giver, you're a nurturer, then you got to be really careful, because a lot of people will suck you dry. A lot of people will take. At the time when I was single and I didn't know anyone in the city, I kind of made some friends through Instagram. And so I invited this girl to, let's go to the gym, let's do this, let's do that. And I was putting her on. She ended up becoming a personal trainer because of me, no problem. Then anytime she wanted to hang out, she would only want to talk about business. And business, babe, I was the one bringing you business, bringing you advice, bringing you tips, and you had nothing for me ever. When I was going through a rut, she was not there for me. I've also had many situations in my life where I was going through a rut and, you know, people who I thought were my friends weren't there for me. Let me give you another example. I was getting my boobs done and I had known my man for about like 2 months prior to, and I had had these friends for maybe about 2 to 3 years. When it came down to me going, because I went to Mexico to get my boobs done, they didn't even offer to come. I was trying to fly my mom out to come help me. And, you know, I could fly them out too if they wanted to, but they didn't make that an option. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, the minute I told my man I was going by myself, he's like, send me your ticket. Like, I'm going to come with you. I'm going to take work off. He knew me for 2 months. Never tried anything with me, let me tell you, before the 2 months and on that trip. And after that trip, he waited for my mom to come back to Calgary, and he took care of me until she came to help, right? And that just showed me who my friends are. And I did call them out. I was like, look, you had a whole stranger offer immediately versus, you know, sometimes your friends are like, no, you know, like, that's not what I want to do. And you got to really pay attention to people who only try and benefit or take off of you when your cup is full and you're not in need of help or in need of somebody to look after you. And so I was like, wow, you know, so I started just hanging out with my man instead, because that man is consistent from day one of meeting him. This man will do anything for me, be there for me at all costs. And that's the type of person that I am. And that's the only type of people that I want around me. I know what I do for other people. So I don't try and test people, but I do read people and I listen when they talk about their own friends or their families and their own lives. I listen, because people will usually show you their true colors when they're talking to you. Especially when you're trying to meet men, they will show you their true colors and their intentions when they're talking about their exes or when they're talking about people. You got to pay attention and really listen, because some people, they will show you who they are the minute they start talking. And so now I'm very careful with who I allow around me. I'm a giver. So if you're going to come around me only just to eat off my plate, I'm sorry. You're out. You're gone. I don't hang on or chase people. I stopped doing that. And 2024 became better because I was focused on my mission to give. I'm on this earth to serve. As I fill myself up, I take space where I do a lot of things by myself, or I do it with the small company that I have. And that's okay. Thought, especially from high school, that I needed to be a part of the popular crowd. I needed to have this amount of friends. I needed to blow up on Instagram. I needed to be known. I needed to be liked. I needed to be validated. I needed the most attention. And now I'm just like, I don't even want to be seen. I don't even want to be seen. Like, I'm very content and happy with my life, being very minimal with good people. Like, you don't need much. I don't need another designer bag. I don't need another fast car. I don't need any more friends. I'm open to it, but I'm not actively seeking or desperately in need. A lot of people, they act out of desperation. A lot of people keep people around because they're afraid that they're going to be lonely. A lot of people tolerate toxic relationships and toxic people because they are afraid of being lonely. You've become so immune to this toxicity that you don't even know any better. I've been there because I had no idea God was ever going to give me anything better. No, until I just surrendered. I had to cry my eyes out for days, for months. And finally one day the sun came out. And it came out. It came out. And when it did, I tell you, I had no idea. I had no hope in the moments of when I was down in defeat. But God always has better for you if you trust and believe, and you just remove things and stop going back to it. You keep going back to what's familiar, what's comfortable. There's better out there. If you just wake up and you're like, I don't feel my best, the people around me don't make me feel that good, why do you keep going back to them? If they don't make you feel good and you're always flustered and you're always uneasy, like, it's affecting your mental health. People have heart attacks and strokes because they're stressed. A lot of women go through hormonal imbalances, can't even have a baby because they're surrounded by the wrong energies, negative energies. A lot of people are going to bed unhappy because of who is around them. You were born alone. You get to make choices. You should not even allow people to have that much access to you. You cannot have access to, baby, I will pull my access so fast that card will be declined. You can no longer have access to me if you do not add to me. If you are coming in with complaining, negative emotions all the time, you're trying to eat off my plate, you're not happy for me, I'm not chasing you. As I evolve, I see that a lot of people have to be left where I met them because they're not evolving. So they can't appreciate that. They can't clap for me. They can't be happy for me because I'm evolving. I'm evolving and I'm changing more lives. This is what we were meant to do. You're supposed to evolve. If you don't like your job, quit that job and go somewhere else. If you don't like where you're living, pack up and leave. You don't need that much. You just need to go find your own happiness and always be focused on yourself. What's going to make you happy so that you're not rubbing off your negative emotions on other people. Once you start to take care of you, everything else around you will start to take care of itself. You no longer have to chase. You no longer have to beg. You no longer have to sell yourself or your soul. And I've been in all of those scenarios. That's why I can give you this advice and just tell you that no, stop holding back your life for other people and stop going to these same events. Stop going to hang out with the same crowd that keeps doing the same thing. And obviously, like, look where you are. You don't like where you are. So clearly something has to change. And that's why isolation and solitude sometimes is better for your mental health and your emotional health, for you to get yourself together. If you are always saying yes to events and yes to everything and not taking care of your mental well-being and really planning and journaling, practicing gratitude, and really just doing that deep dive into self-reflection and who you could possibly become, you're never going to have any targets or visions to work towards, to aim for. You're following after people who are repeating the cycle. Babe, I am trying to break the cycle from where I'm coming from. A single mother who was struggling, who went through depression, who almost died, she knew that she wanted to raise her kids, but she couldn't even take care of herself. There's been so many people in her journey alone that I watched help my mom that I had to go and see when I was in Toronto, because it was an act of just saying thank you for saving her, just because of who she was surrounded by. And you don't have to be surrounded by your pain. You don't have to be surrounded by people who mistreat you. Don't stay in it for too long. There is a higher power. You saw my channel grow to 20,000 subscribers. I didn't do that. That was God. Imagine what else he can do for you if you just believe in him. Faith, consistency, and intention. If you have intention in everything that you do, who you're around, right? Who you speak to, how you speak to yourself, places you go, places and people you entertain, right? If you are very intentional with everything that you do, you will see a change in your life. I promise you. You can do this in 24 hours. You can do this in 14 days. Wherever you are right now, look what's around you. Look at what you've been entertaining. Go through your text messages. If you've been fighting with a bunch of people, if you've been fighting with a certain person, if you've been on and off, nah. They know if they want to love you, be straight with you, be good to you. They know. Stop playing a fool. Stop putting your heart and your mind through this. How many years are going to go by before you're like, damn, I spent my entire life fighting with somebody who didn't even love me. It was lust. It was because I was lonely. It was because I was comfortable. How many years have to go by before you're too old? How many years have to go by before you put down your foot and choose yourself? I'm gonna leave it right there, girls, because I'm not trying to cry today and I'm like sweating. And we gotta go pick up my baby's mama. I've been learning a few new words like cześć, dobra, tak, meaning yes, a few other words, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Lots of love, and thank you guys again for trusting in me, supporting me, loving on me. Big hugs. I love you guys. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are. If you're not already subscribed, I hope you subscribe, and don't forget to like this video. Love you guys.